Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would kind of do like a little run through. So I'm going to be doing a little chit chat about my wedding plans, how things are going, lockdown weddings, how I've kind of coped with my wedding coming up. So I thought I would just talk through it. Weddings are a bit of a sore subject at the moment, especially in the UK, because we're in lockdown, so we haven't really been able to have proper weddings since March last year. So it's coming up to a year. I think we're only a week or so off a year where we haven't been able to have weddings. We have had a few spaces in the last 12 months where you have been able to have small weddings. Between about 15 and 30 has been the largest size wedding of guests that you're allowed. Last year I was supposed to get married in October 2020. Obviously that didn't happen. We were only going to be able to be allowed 30 guests originally. We pushed ours back in September 2020 to this October coming. I think when our wedding come round, it was actually going to only allow us 15 guests. So in hindsight, I'm glad we cancelled it and moved it back even. But I just thought I'd have like a little chit chat about it. I've got a few friends that were also supposed to be getting married last year. Some that are getting married this year with some restrictions. And I just want to put my feelings out there. It's a little bit of a vent and an offload whilst I do some makeup that I was planning for my wedding. So I think I'll just do my makeup whilst I talk, and I'll just link everything in the description box because I don't feel like sitting doing product by product as I go through. So yeah, we moved into our house November 2017. We bought this house. We'd been together about 18 months, which really wasn't very long, but it was one of them situations where we'd both been in pretty crappy relationships before this one. We met, I think it must have been 24 when we met. I've literally just had to count that. I think I was about 24 when we met. He was 25, and we just thought, okay, like, let's get ahead. The housing market was pretty good at the time. Things were going pretty cheaply, and the estate that we live on now is at the end of the street that my mum used to live on. So she lived on like a long road, and at the end was like a big fenced off area that used to just be wasteland and factories. And Barrett Homes obviously bought the plot, cleared the factories and started building houses. So we got this house pretty early in the development. It's just the cat coming in. Which I thought we were pretty lucky with, to be totally honest, because now that we see the new houses going on, they're more expensive than what we got this one for. So that was definitely worth it. But so we got this house. He quite shortly after us, I think it was the January, obviously proposed, which was nice. It was an at-home proposal. I could not do anything in public. I would just die a million deaths if he tried to do anything in public. And he knew that, absolutely knew that, so he just did it at home. Actually, I'll tell you the full story. So he had come to me. It wasn't like an unexpected proposal. He did come to me one night and said he'd seen a ring that he liked and he just wanted to make sure that I liked it. So it wasn't the biggest surprise. But it was still nice. Like, I come home from work one day, he'd put like rose petals leading from the front door to the bath. He'd had a nice bath run for us. So I went in the bath and he'd put like one of my dresses or something, I think he'd put out. And he was just like, right, get ready, we're going to go for our tea. Well, obviously, the rose petals and everything. And once I was in the bath, he then rearranged them from the front door to the bathroom, from the bathroom to the bedroom. So when I got in there, obviously there was, I'm not sure, I think it was just the rose petals with the ring in the middle of the bed, and a box of Maltesers, which are my absolute favourite. Obviously asked us Mariam. He thinks I had a sarky comment to reply with, but I don't think I actually did. I can't remember it. I might have blacked out and said something horrible, God knows. Might have said, well, if I have to, which wouldn't be a surprise, to be totally honest, because we can both be just as sarcastic as each other. So it might have happened. I can't say for definite that it didn't. I think it took us about 6 months, 7 months to find a venue. So his family are from the next city along, so we're generally, well, we're in the middle of Newcastle and Sunderland. His family are from Sunderland, so when we're looking for a venue, his family didn't really want to travel too far, like they didn't want to go right across to like Durham to have to then, because he's got quite a lot of nieces and nephews, so it's going to be like ferrying all these kids all the way through to like Durham to come all the way back. It was just going to be a hassle. But we ended up finding a hotel and they had a wedding fair on, and I went. The prices were just something else. Like around this area, the cost for a decent wedding, I think my sister paid about 28,000 for her wedding. Around here they are quite expensive. We have a lot of castles and things, which is where I think a lot of the expense comes from. That must be the main source of their income, but it's just kind of like it is what it is, end of story. So we found this. It was going to be much cheaper for a larger package, 60 guests, and it was like my decorations and stuff were going to be included. I have added on top of that now, but that was going to be included. So we kind of come back, spoke about that, showed him and booked it. So that is between the two areas where we live. So we ended up getting that, and it was kind of full steam ahead at first. I was like, right, okay, I want these decorations, I want everything done. I'm going to go see me florist, getting like everything in order, as you do. I'm kind of glad that I did that, to be honest, because it's now left me with not a lot to do right now. With my job, a lot of it is student based, like university students. And so when they move in and out, it's all in summertime. So it's like June to October. I literally don't have a minute to breathe. Never mind sit and plan a wedding. We are very much like Halloween is our time of year. And a lot of the theme is to do with like Halloween type things. We can't really change it now. It's as simple as that. Like, it can't be changed. Just go with it. But it just means that like a lot of what I need to do is done, because I was supposed to get married last year, so the majority of it is done. It's just kind of fine tuning the last details, making a few things, and I should be okay. We've pretty much got the money there to pay for everything, ready to go. We're just waiting for October now. But the actual planning of our wedding hasn't been very easy. I think because he isn't very interested. Like, I'll put a few ideas by him and he'll tell me which one he prefers, but he hasn't got the thought to come up with anything himself. But again, it's leading back to the point of, am I gonna like it? It's probably easier, I think, and just let her get on with it, let her plan it, and she gets what she wants, and he'll just turn up on the day and go, alright, okay, alright, lovely. But luckily, I have got a few friends with my sister. One sister's already been married, so I've kind of taken a little bit from her. Then I've got another sister who is getting married in June. She's only getting the 30 guests, because we're still going to have restrictions at that point. But she's just going ahead and getting on with it. She needs to get married. She wants a baby and stuff, and she just wants to do it in that order. But luckily I have so I've got another 2 friends who I used to work with. One does kind of like balloon decorations, and she very nicely agreed to come and decorate my room for me on top of what I get within the package of the hotel, because I just wanted like a million things more. So she has very kindly agreed to do that for me. And then I've got another friend who has the creative mind. I can throw an idea at her and she can just make a whole room from it. I say, okay, I quite fancied this flower, and she's like, oh, well, this, and this, and she has the ideas behind it. Whereas I have the initial thought, she has the ideas. So I'm really lucky to have a creative mind on hand at all times, which is absolutely fantastic. And I actually can't wait until we can actually all meet up again safely. We're all vaccinated and I can go and see them again, because oh my god, I need someone to just tell me that I'm not going to lose my mind trying to get through this wedding. But with the restrictions at the moment, we think we're going to be able to have, I think it's large weddings in like August. So I thought, even if that's delayed a little bit, I've still got like a 2-month period where it can be delayed and I should still be okay. With the hotel, we do get like a wedding organiser. She's been pretty good keeping us updated. I think this was Paper Chase. Yeah, Paper Chase that I just got this one from. And this has just given me all kinds. The part that I absolutely love is this bit. So it shows you, trying to see this, so starting from like the 12 months to go, trying to get it in, 12 months to go, right the way through to like the day of, I think, or 1 month to go, and then the I do, and it tells you what you should be sending or doing when. But obviously we were meant to get married last year, so a lot of the things are already done. But that has just been a lifesaver, because like 12 months to go, you need your photographer, you need to start shopping for your dress. I would highly suggest getting a wedding organiser or a planner, because it's just it's settled my mind into knowing exactly what I need to do when. You kind of go into it and you're just like, yeah, you're wedding, and then you go, but what do I actually do? And there's nothing online to say, okay, as a UK bride, this is what you need to do step by step. There's just nothing. 12-month mark, save the dates. I did those myself. I'm a very stingy person, which is why our wedding has cost us a lot less than what it should have. I just think, like, if I can do anything myself, I'm going to do it myself. And so I did the save the dates and I did the invites myself, because we actually have a website that I made that has all of the details on, and I just put that on the invitation and just said, okay, here you go on the website, all of the information's there, rather than me copying it to every single person's invite. And I just went to Hobbycraft and got some, I forgot what type of paper it is. It's like a scroll paper, and it's just like textured. So I just got that, printed it out on it there, cut them all down, bought some like ribbons and things, made it look nice and sent them out, which I'm pretty confident there was absolutely nothing wrong with them. It cost me all of probably about £20 in total, and I've still got some paper left over. And so with that paper I managed to get the invites, save the dates, invites, and like the name cards for the table for the day. So I managed to get that out of one pack of the paper that I bought. Next is our photographer. This was a little bit more difficult just because of the lockdown. So I originally had booked Rachel Alcock, who's a local photographer. Really loved her style of photographs, put the deposit down and everything. Lockdown come round, I had to change my wedding date to this year. She didn't have that date available. She already had a wedding booked in that time, which was devastating. I had to find a new photographer and find one very quickly. Luckily, I asked someone at work. She recommended leopard print photography, or leopard photography, something like that. So I got in touch with them, had a little look at their portfolio, and it was very similar. Quite happy with them, booked them. They were a bit more expensive than my original photographer. Apart from the venue and my dress, the photographer's the most expensive thing. Like, I can decorate a room for less costing a photographer for a day. And then close at the time, I just need to go and see them and finalise the package that I want. And just looking through this, yes, I did specifically want pink for my wedding day. I wanted originally like a nude blush dress. Ended up with a white one. I'll go into that in a minute. But I've absolutely got my heart set on pink makeup for the day. Just generally because my fiance prefers it on me. It's like my favourite colour. Spent my whole life being near enough Barbie. So why not be a little bit more Barbie? The next thing is the dress shopping. I did do quite a bit of dress shopping actually. I know quite a few people have like just went to the one shop and were quite happy with that one shop. I ended up going to, I think it was like 4 or 5. So I initially went to a place that we have in the UK called Wed to Be, which is basically like an outlet for wedding dresses, which was okay. They just didn't have like the newest styles of dresses, unless you were like a size 6 or 8, and then you had a much larger range, because they are generally what is a sample size, and obviously a lot of the boutiques get a sample size in. I initially went there. I did find a dress that I liked, but the fact that I didn't want to buy it right there and then just kind of told me like, okay, it's probably not the dress, because I don't want to buy it right now. So I ended up going and doing like a full day of shopping with my 2 sisters. So we went to an actual boutique. I explained what I had tried on, what I liked, what I didn't like, and instead of like many of the other places, like if you just go to like a general wedding dress shop, they'll say, right, okay, like the rack for your sizes over there, go have a look. She actually took me upstairs, said, right, okay, this is what I would pull for you. If there's anything else that you see like in front of you, let me know. But she did the absolute best job I could have asked anyone to do, to be totally honest with you. I knew I kind of would have to be led with my wedding dress, because I'm not the greatest at dressing myself. I'm not a big like fashion person. So I was really happy that she kind of took the reins, showed me what would look nice on me. And it was the second last dress. Obviously told her my budget, so she knew what she could pull. Which I said my budget was about 1,000. Like if I could do it now, I would definitely say like the 1,500 mark, if I'd known things were going to get pushed back. I mean, it was a year before the wedding, so coronavirus wasn't even a thing. No one had even heard of it. There was no outbreak whatsoever when I went shopping for my dress. So I thought, oh god, I'm going to be getting married within the year, because it was like Christmas time that I went and did all of this. So I was just like, right, I'm going to get married within the year. I can only really afford to pull out this much right now. And so I went off the £1,000 mark. Whereas now I'm just like, I could have absolutely went up to 2 without a problem. And so I wish I had gone up that little bit. Like, I love my dress, but I got it as a sample size, and then we're altering it to make it fit. And ultimately I wish we'd got it maybe it's a size smaller than what I am, because I wanted to corset and it just to really pull me in. I wish I'd got the size smaller than what I am, rather than 2 or 3 sizes smaller, and then worked with that. Just realised the door's open. And then worked with that and put a corset in it and made all the alterations that I'm making in it. But like, it's not the end of the world, I don't think. But yeah, so I ended up trying on a few dresses with her, and it was the second last one. I didn't have that emotional breakdown moment that a lot of people seem to have. I did just have, like, it was the moment, the best way I can describe it is you go in thinking, oh, like, yeah, I'm getting married, let's try dresses on. You put that dress on, and then suddenly hits in, you're like, oh shit, I'm getting married. And you're like, oh, okay. And that was me confirming that that was my dress. It was just like that moment of, oh shit, I'm getting married. And then you kind of look at yourself more. You go from like the mirror in the changing room to the mirror like outside. And it kind of hits of, this is the dress that I want to wear to walk down the aisle. That's the only way I can explain it. But like, now I've had more time to think about it, like, it doesn't hit me like that anymore. and I'm absolutely fine. That's probably been like the most stressful part for me, was finding my dress, because I'm not a small girl. I'm certainly not a sample size 8 by any means whatsoever. So that was like my biggest stress of, am I going to find a dress that suits me, or is it just going to look a mess? Because the first one that I tried on did look a bit of a mess. Now I look back at it, I just think, oh God, like I wasn't 100% comfortable in it, and I knew I wasn't that comfortable in it. Honeymoons was the next thing at the year mark. Booked hours, had to change it. Now it's booked for May next year. So it's like the 8 months, I think, after our wedding we actually go on our honeymoon. I just wanted something to like look forward to after the wedding, because I'd heard a lot of stories of people getting a little bit of depression after the wedding, because obviously you spend so long planning it and looking forward to it that when it actually comes and it's gone. So we have actually booked to go to Marrakesh in Morocco for our wedding, for our honeymoon even. So purchase rings is the next thing on the list that I did and I haven't mentioned. We got ours last year August, September time, which would naturally be like the end of the wedding season, because they're on sale. I think they're on sale because obviously everyone had gotten all of their stock in, thinking, oh, everyone's going to be buying everything for their weddings, and then weddings didn't happen, so that everyone had a lot of stock spare that hadn't been bought, and there was like massive sales everywhere last year, and so we kind of took full advantage of that and got a lot of things last year. Even when we knew we were going to move the wedding, we still bought a lot of wedding things. We had the money at the time, as we were expecting to buy it anyway, and so we managed to get a lot of things on sale and save ourselves some hella dollar. Through this whole wedding I've managed to save quite a lot, which I'm quite proud of. So all in all, through everything so far, I think I've saved about £4,000 just from doing a lot of things either myself, voucher codes have been amazing online, or just shopping around and finding the same product for cheaper. With my wedding ring, what I wanted was something to match my engagement ring. A lot of suppliers of wedding rings wanted a hell of a lot of money, and it was just a little bit questionable sometimes on how much they actually wanted, and I wasn't really willing to pay for it. So after shopping around, I managed to bring my wedding ring down from about £300 to less than £100, just from the sales. So always shop around, wait, don't buy it immediately, wait. Finalise the menu. We have not done our food tasting yet, which is something that I am actually quite keen to do. Being a food lover, I just want the opportunity to sit and taste loads of different food. But we do have an idea, or we do generally know from the menu what was the most appealing thing to us, and so we have actually technically picked it. I do just want to go and make sure we have made the best decision, because we can only have one option for everyone. Obviously there's dietary requirement options, but that's pretty much it. Everyone just gets fed the same thing. I thought, out of everything, the money I've paid for this wedding, if there's one thing I'm going to have so selfishly, is what I want to eat that day. Like, I've spent probably 3 years leading up to this watching what I'm eating, especially now that the dress is fitted to me. I can't really gain any weight at all. I can lose a little bit, but they've given me a stone like gap, saying, okay, you can be between this weight and this weight. And so on the day I'm just going to be like, you know what, if someone's not eating their cake, I'm eating it for them, honestly. Purchase accessories, again, same as with the rings, I think it comes on the same thing. Shop around, honestly. Some of the prices of things I nearly had an actual heart attack at, but lucky for me, around the time I was buying all of the accessories, we have a big store or shop in the UK called Debenhams, and at the time that I was buying everything, so Debenhams was closing down. I think like a lot of like the like actual physical stores were closing down, but I think they're still online. But I basically sat again, it was wedding season, a lot of things hadn't been bought, and I got a lot of my things in the sales in that. So I would always say, think of when the wedding season is, which is normally like April time to about August, the end of August. So if you do all of your shopping for your wedding September, October, you're going to hit the sales. So even if you're getting married in June, start shopping like September, October, and you're going to get everything a hell of a lot cheaper. Music choices, oh my god, music choices. So we've done our music choices like 2 or 3 times over at this point. Obviously when you get engaged, it's one of the first things that I thought of is, what music do I want? But obviously that was years ago. Obviously taste changes, new songs are released, etc. And so you start to think of a million other things that you want, which there was quite a few songs that we changed. I'm hoping to not have these spots on my wedding day, by the way. But we've changed ours a good few times at this point, not going to lie. So I would always say, like, when you get engaged, yes, do your makeup choice, your music choices, but always revisit it. Like every 6 months we generally have. There's a lot of times we've looked at it and went, no, we still want those songs, still happy with that kind of playlist, that order. And sometimes we've looked at it and went, what the hell was I thinking picking that? Like, something else, please. So always revisit that. Like, literally, this has on a month to go. Make your final music choices. I would say, like, look a week before. Like, literally, as you hand over the music choices to your venue, check it again. Don't just go, okay, I decided that 3 weeks ago, here you go. Check it again, because I think, like, your music taste changes week to week. Definitely check it. Oh, one thing that isn't on that is, just going through the other pages, is the cake. The cake. One thing I learned with the cake is word of mouth is your absolute best chance of getting a good one. About birthday cakes, wedding cakes, absolutely all kinds. Because the cake person I originally went to described the cake that I wanted, how many people I was feeding, the tiers, all that. And I got quoted, I'm pretty sure it was nearly £1,000 for a cake. And then I went to someone else who makes all of her cakes out of her house rather than having like a catering kitchen. And now our cake is costing us like £300. So it's like a £700 difference just for someone not having to cover extra like rent, electricity, professional baking equipment, so on and so forth. And I just thought, I don't need like the world's best 5-star cake. It gets chopped up and people eat it anyway, so it's not something people really remember about your wedding is, oh, the cake was nice, and you remember the day. So definitely have a shop around, think about what you want, think about the realism of it, because what I wanted was told, that's ridiculous. So think of cake being quite soft, not being able to support a lot, and keep your expectations there. Also with decorations, Pinterest is not your best friend. It can give you some ideas, but a lot of what is on Pinterest is going to cost a lot. So take some ideas from it and then kind of adapt it. I had to adapt quite a lot. So yeah, that brings me next on to hair and makeup. I knew someone in school who is now a makeup artist, and so that was my first go-to, and that's who I've gone with. She's done my makeup a couple of times and I've been happy with it. Obviously, being a makeup enthusiast myself, I'm very picky on what goes on my face, what I'll use, what I want, what I know works for me specifically. And I think like when you're someone like that going to see like a makeup artist who's going to do it for you, I think you've just got to be really, really specific. Like I went when I first booked her and we did like a nice like glowy makeup look, and it was like, oh, that's all nice and bronzy and natural and da-da-da. And then I'm going to essentially end up going like August, September to do it like another trial. And I'm going to sit with her and say, okay, absolutely not, I want fucking pink eyeshadow. Like, put your golds away, put your browns away, pull your pinks out, because that's what I want. I mean, this is generally what I want. This is the level of pink that I want, which I might regret in 20 years time, but right now I'm like, get the pink off. And this is also how dramatic I want my lashes on the day, in case anyone was sitting looking at that thinking, what the hell. Like, I imagine like a makeup artist, rather than just me who's been sitting in front of a mirror for 10 years, will be able to do it a lot better. Yeah, so my hair, so it's who's helping me with the decorations and the ideas. Her sister got married a few years ago now, and her and her sister both get her hair done by a hairdresser who also does the styles and everything. So I'm going to her just because, again, word of mouth. She wasn't too expensive, but she was like middle line, where she's going to be good enough to do a really good job, but obviously it is a little bit more pricey than a cheap hairdresser. And I maybe wasn't as strict with my hair, because it's not something that like massively bothers me, as long as my hair, like, I just want it like slightly curled and pulled back off my face on the day. So I'm probably going to be the quickest and easiest bride. I was going to say, makeup artists, shop around, go with someone you trust. I think when something's as personal as makeup, absolutely go with someone that you trust 100%. Obviously your guests, you need to get that right. Ask parents about guests. Because my sister had a bit of a nightmare when she had her guest list, and my dad turned around and went, well, you're not going to invite your uncle and auntie from my side. And she was like, shit. She's like, I hadn't even thought about them. Whoopsies. So, ask parents about guests. Because luckily she made that mistake first, so that then I knew to not make that mistake. But then I made a mistake in inviting someone, and then later along the line thinking, I don't really want them. I don't want them there all day. So luckily, I sent my save the dates so early that people kind of forgot by the time that I sent the invites, so they just didn't get an invite and they kind of lost the save the date. So that's worked out okay for me. I've also wrote myself a to-do list on the back here. This is obviously just what I need to do when in my head. So I've got things like buy all the suits, September, I need to buy eyelashes. Luckily, my makeup artist now does her own lashes, which is what I always link in the description and on my Instagram page. I always use these lashes, and I will most likely use these ones on the day. I don't know which ones they are because I've kind of messed up the boxes and started swapping them around, so I don't know which ones they are. But they are big and fluffy, and oh my god, that corner's come off. I did not do a very good job. Rescued it. So we've got buy the suits, eyelashes, which like I say, I will probably wear these ones. Body foundation. Okay, if you have tattoos and you hate them, get them covered. 100%. I'm literally just covering mine with foundation and colour correcting them. I tried getting it removed. Spent a year trying to get it removed, like a laser treatment every month. It's barely faded. My perfume. Lord give me strength, I do not know what to smell like. It's not, I never really wear perfume, so it's not something I've thought about really. All my dermaplaning, threading, all of that kind of thing, which is going to like literally be I think 2 days before I've gonna get it booked in for. My nails, about 2 days before as well, I'm going to book it all in for. Tan, that's an ongoing debate. I need to find a card box. I keep forgetting about that. I need to find something where to put all the cards in. Luckily my mum bought me, this is the good thing about having mums, she got me, so I think she said it was in the range, did have to, so it was $2.99 in the range, but it was reduced to $1.99, So she rang us and I was like, yeah, pick us up one of them, that'll do. Like just a really basic one, because I'm not like a big faffy person, and the wedding isn't big and faffy. Yeah, try your places like the Range Home Bargains for your likes of little stationery. You'd be surprised at what's actually in there. What else have we got? Need to find bridal underwear. How expensive bridal underwear is horrific. Don't even need a bra because I've got a corset at the top. So I'm like, I need just a pair of Nicks. Why am I paying £20 for a pair of Nicks? No, thank you. Decide on the children's menu. Trying to get like 12 children and decide what each of like they're all going to eat because they've got to have the same thing. I'm baffled. And then just finalising things. Collect my dress, get suits. So there's not really like a lot. Like I've got a list here. This is my list of all the things that I need to do before October. So we think there's only one page left and a lot of these are ticked off. So I think I'm doing okay now. I could do with some recommendations. If you could put in the comments of what lip products to use for my wedding day, because I want to wear a liquid lip because it's obviously not going to move, and I would like a little bit of a gloss, but I don't want to kind of kiss my fiance, then go to be husband and be like, got a bit pink glittery lip gloss on you there, enjoy that. Like he doesn't do it now. If I've got lipstick on, he's like, no. He will happily refuse to kiss me. And yeah, just kind of like on the day, just want like really soft curls, a bit more structured than this, because obviously someone who knows what they're doing is going to be doing it. Right, well this is pretty much it. I hope that wasn't super boring. For anyone who isn't getting married, isn't interested in weddings, probably wasn't going to be the one for you. But I hope it has helped someone somewhere. If you have any questions on kind of like UK based things, what you do when, just give me a message, send me something on Instagram. Like feel free to get in touch, because I was so anxious at the start. I didn't know what I was doing. Neither does this lash by the seams of it. But I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what to do when. So just shoot me a message if you've got any questions. I'm more than happy to help anyone, especially in lockdown at the lockdown at the moment. You don't really know what to do when, because you don't know who's open when. But yeah, if you have any questions, please just ask. If you've got any little tips and tricks on some nice pink eyeshadows, feel free to leave them down below, as well as the lipstick thoughts. I think everything else I'm pretty much happy with. I'm just always open to more shades of the pinks, and definitely for lipstick. But that is all for today. I hope you have enjoyed this. If you've made it all the way through, because I expect it to be an exceptionally long video for how much I've spoke through it. I'm going to go get a nice big bottle of water to aid my dry throat right now. And I will hopefully see you all in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Find me on Instagram. I do have a TikTok, although I don't really post on it. But feel free to follow me, ask me any questions, and I'm always responding. But I'll see you in the next one. Bye.